everybody. Glad to see over 250 people here. It's so nice that so many people are interested in listening to our conference. Actually, I will try to be a little bit provocative regarding the topic which I will continue, because after such a long presentation, actually I don't have anything to say, because Maria said everything about what I was going to talk about. But generally, when we're talking about digital technologies, actually we're talking about economy, about digital economy. And you know that this word we hear every day in every conversation directed to politics, to news, to business, to career, but what does it actually mean? And if you want to think about it deeply, you will understand that there is nothing but digital economy. I cannot find any opposite to this. Is there any paper economy or any physical economy? Everything we have is digital because it is made of digital. In this case, when we try to go deeper and deeper in what we're facing now within the process of transformation of our life, we can see that there is a big mess and a big lack of, let's say, of perceiving what is really happening. And with this, I would like to go back to Confucius. His philosophy and the basics of his philosophy was to start with correction of names. The beginning of his idea was that people need to strive to critically and analytically perceive what is happening within the process. And when you try to do it, you understand that in all the discourse, as in political one, as well as economic, as well as in everyday life, we mix everything. For example, the words digitalization and digital transformation, цифровизация and цифровая трансформация. At least in Russian language, they are often used as synonyms, even in laws, in any governmental documents, but they have different meanings, as digitalization is a process, and digital transformation is how the digital technologies are transformed to reality, transformed to economy. And this is very important because it doesn't allow to make clear what is happening, and it doesn't make clear what to do, what you should do in your life, how you need to develop your career, your knowledge, how to study, etc. and etc. Basing on the COVID-19 reality which we are facing now, we see that for the first time in civilization, the struggle with physical pandemics goes together with use of digital technologies, information technologies, which help to analyze data, to share information, to share different products, to help to communicate, to help people to stay together. But at the same time, these very technologies, they brought another phenomenon to life, infodemics. So on these informational pandemics is the same harmful as the physical one. And even the World Health Organization published a very interesting article. I advise you to read it for sure. It is called COVID-19 Infodemics. And it says that in this situation, this information technologies bring not only good to the situation, but harm as well. And not only to some nations or cities or people, but to the very world. And so with this situation, you need to very critically analyze what is happening with the development of the technologies, because there is a lot of fuss all around there. Usually, now when I prepare some lectures or some articles, I always refer to consultants, to business, because they are much more aware about what is happening, and there are connection between the science and the business world. And always I use, very often I use the predictions which are presented by Gartner, an American company which is involved in analytics regarding the technological development in the world scale. Although you need to know that many years ago they advised Apple not to start their business, so they gave their advice to continue with other products. But their leader, who you know very well, decided not to listen to their advice, and he was right. But nevertheless, the reports which they are presenting every several years, they're very interesting, because if you see and check it, you will see that together with the technological trends, there are some trends which are related exclusively to the humanitarian field. For example, several years ago, one of 9 main trends was ethics of data. And now you see that every day you can see concerns about the data used by government, by companies, by hackers, and the problem of cybersecurity is very strong. Their latest prediction says that one of the main trends is the democratization of technology, which means that as the technologies are spread so widely around the world, they give opportunities to people all over the world to develop their skills, to earn money, and to raise their way of life and their level of life. But of course, their main technologies which are progressive now, they are not limited only with the humanitarian context. One of the main perspective technologies is not even technologies, but the trends. I would say better the trends. It is the proliferation of new business models basing on logic on the offline platform, and their further development to ecosystems. In Russia, in our country, we have several big projects which are striving to become ecosystems, like Sberbank, like Yandex, and some others, which show that the second main trend is also developing. It is the change of boundaries of industries. We see a lot of examples. For example, the very Sberbank, which I just mentioned, which is not only a bank now, it also works in the analytical field, in delivery, in artificial intelligence development, and many other projects, including education. And I don't have fingers on my hands to mention all of it. So the change of boundaries of interest is one of the main trends as well. And we see some more examples. The companies which produce gasoline out of oil, now they invest huge amounts of money in green economy. So they are looking forward to transform the industries. And what is more important, so they just break the boundaries. So the world in the like a big system is not the same. The third trend is the transformation of customer experience, which was revealed by Bjorn. And if you remember what he was talking, very often he was using the words such as personality, person, human. So it's a paradox that although the marketing becomes more and more digital, nevertheless, the value of human and the value of what is related to human becomes more and more valuable and convertible to money, convertible to business, convertible to loyalty. The fourth trend is the development and boost of digital business infrastructure to different companies. And this is a very important and very interesting case because it sounds like utopia, because different industries and even different companies within one industry, they don't go all together. There are some leaders, there are some companies which go in the main trend, and there are some losers. But nevertheless, one of the main trends is that all companies are forced to develop the digital business infrastructure. Other way, they will not be able to compete in the market. And one of the last trends which I want to mention is the human capital management trend. And this refers directly to you, because now you guys are in a very difficult position, because all the time you will have to educate your objects and subjects of continuing education, workplace education, including online and education, which you became professionals for the last year for sure. And there is no changes. There is no chance that you will be able to stand with one education and one job within your career, because all the previous trends show that that the change of the industries of the companies will become more and more strong and quick, and new competences, new knowledge will be demanded. The last trend which I'm going to cover, and I think that I have 1 minute, right? Or 2 minutes? 2 minutes. I'm fine with this. So is the increase of influence of the state, of the government. And from one point, it is good, because government has duty and has resources for funding of digital transformation for business. And that's fine, because not all the companies, including especially small and medium business, are able to fund these valuable projects. But from another side, the control of the state is a big concern, and it makes me mention the problem of ethics. So again, we are going back to the human part of the digital transformation, because we have two main problems here. The first is the safety of your personal data. There are no effective instruments to control how your data is used and by whom. The problems which we face here in Russia, but not only in Russia, in every country, dealing with the stealing of your personal data from banks' databases, or from Facebook and from many other companies. This is a problem which doesn't have instruments to be resolved. And it's a problem of cybersecurity, but also of legislation and of business. And the second issue is the problem of surveillance. So it is the problem of your personal freedom. How much freedom can you can you give to the state for your safety? And the balance between the safety and the freedom is a problem to discuss. A problem to discuss within the community, with the state, within the state, and to be depicted first, to be reflected first in the Codex of Ethics, which has to be reviewed now. So the last thing that I want to say is that within this very difficult complex of the problems which I mentioned, because all the trends which I was talking about, there are more problems than the decisions, because they need a lot of changes and a lot of strong decisions, both on the personal level of each citizen, of each individuality, of each subject, as well as for the government and for the whole world now. So for this, we need to set an integrated approach, which will consider the consideration that within the digital technologies, the world became a very small place, and we need to strive all together to survive and to make it a better place. And at the same time, we need to find our own way of life, our own way of development in this new changing world. This is a job for all of us. Thank you for your attention, and I'm ready for the questions, if there are any.
I think we can keep the camera on Oleg, and I will read the questions. Thank you. Thank you, Oleg, for first of all, and we've got some questions from the students. Do you think there will be they're running so fast. Wait a minute, please. Were there any other infodemics before COVID-19 or something similar to an infodemic?
The waves of panics, there are a lot of experience to such waves of panics in the history related to crises, because most of them at least had the main faults of these crises were, let's say, the informational waves. Let's start with this. And of course, in the history, there were a lot of epidemics before, which were accompanied by panic spread as well. So it's not for the first time, but it's for the first time that it goes online in the current moment and for the whole world.
Okay. Do you think there will not exist any offline companies, schools, universities in 10, 20, 30 years?
It's a very good question, because now I am writing an article with the CEO of AIF, my friend, and the main the CEO of the main Russian newspaper, which is all published. And I developed the idea that the physical world still have some chance to survive. Of course, it will become something luxury. It will become something like related to entertainment, to development. I don't think that most people will afford offline education, offline reading of newspapers and books, but it will survive forever, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Will small business development become more difficult after the pandemic?
Again, a good question. I think that first it deals with the spirit of entrepreneurship and with the attitude to entrepreneurship from the point of the government. So if entrepreneurs survive pandemics, if not of them die, I hope so, and I wish so, then of course they will be able to start again. Even if they lose their money and their business, they will have nothing to do but to develop something else. And I hope that governments will help, will assist to do it in a more comfortable way.
Okay, thank you. Do you think that delivery will someday completely take over restaurant business?
Also, I think that, no, I don't think so, because only this week I had a dinner in a very luxury restaurant, which was fully occupied. And I think that people will always, while human stays human, he will always leave something offline for his lifestyle. And I think that restaurants will stay forever, but maybe their delivery sphere will develop just for the price, for the efficiency, for time safety, but it will not fully cannibalize the restaurant service.
And I'm sorry, this will be the last question in studio. And again, I'll do the same as with Bjorn. I will ask Oleg to answer the rest, and we'll download them into chat. will it be ever possible to completely protect our personal data? Probably in 10 years.
This is a very good question, and I'm sorry that I will maybe steal a couple of minutes, but it's the main topic of my one of the main topics of my scientific and public research as a public figure, and I need to develop more on this. So the situation with the personal data is critical now, because I didn't go very deeply in the technologies, but one of the main trends is the technologies of Internet of Things. So and this trend is developing very rapidly. So not only people, not only humans present their data to whoever, but also their things collect all the data. And the formation of the digital twin of the society in general, it's a reality which we are facing within several years. With this, technically, it's not possible to control what is being collected. But I think that it is possible to control what is done with your data. In ideal, it's possible to do it. And we have experience like GDPR in Europe or California Act in California for protecting data. And this legislation, it imposes very big fines to companies, to organizations which make faults with collection or transferring or storing the data which is collected by them. Just recently, Facebook was fined for 30 seconds, please, for more than $500 million for a fault with the data. And I think that this is a good trend to collect, to protect data. But this is the only opportunity. You will never be the owner of your data anymore. Thank you for your attention.